Starting from where we stopped, we remove the action that is already here. Then we're going to put the form method. The form method is going to be post, so we're just going to type method equal to post. Then the next edit we're going to do on this form is to make sure that this has a name. So we're just going to say name. We're just going to call it search term. Search term. Okay, that's the name, so that we can make use of it from our controller. So since this sends to searches add, we can now go to searches controller and look for the add method. Where is our searches controller? Searches controller. Then we'll find the add method, and then from the add method, first of all, we want to make sure that the search term is not empty. If it is empty, we're gonna say not validation field. You can't. You have to search field for submitting. You can't submit an empty search field. Yeah, you can't submit an empty search field. I know you might be looking at me as to why I didn't put these quotes here. There's a tricky way to do that. If you put these quotes here, it will automatically take this one as the string, and your parser wouldn't know what this is. So if you want to use a quote inside a single quote inside a single quote, two ways. You put a backward escape, then it works well, or you can change these guys into double quote, these outside ones into double quote, so you can use single quotes inside. Alright, so this sorts our first problem. The second problem is that we're going to make sure that this is a search term, and on a database it is called name title. Okay, and we're supposed to pick the user ID, okay, which is already here. And there we are. And then we're supposed to pick the user's IP, but I'll leave that out for now. And the next thing is, well, in case you're interested in knowing how to retrieve the user's IP address, you will need to install a middleware. To do that, just go to Raw PHP website, documentation on GitHub. That's github.com/rawphp framework/raw PHP docs, and then you scroll down and you will see the topic on retrieving IP address. So in that topic, a little guide is instructed on how to quickly add the ability for your application to retrieve IP address. Apart from that, it's not really a very strong requirement in our application for now. So we have this, and then we're supposed to clean up this first of all. But what we now have is this is supposed to be first or create. First or create. The reason we are doing first or create is that we don't want to create we don't want to track a search term that the user already has. You understand? So if a user has searched for PHP before, a particular user, and we saved it in a database, we are keeping track of it. The next time they search, we don't need to create a new record. So the thing is, if the record already exists, then that's good. We don't need it again. Alright. To be able to clear all these book references, we need to do our usual trick, which is find all occurrences of, first of all, we start with a capital letter book that has to do with this, then change it to skill that has to do with these two double columns. Then we change everything first. And then once it's done, the rest of our life is easy. So because we can now just say all occurrences of book, change it to skill. And that goes down. Everything works well. Then we scroll up and make sure that what we have here is actually skill in capital letter. As you can see, it's because it makes reference to our model that is skill in capital letter. Alright, and now we are back to the add. So once it's a post request, we make sure that the search term is not empty. We'll validate it and return a response to the user if it's empty. Then we can save it in the database, and we're not supposed to output a message. I'll just comment it out instead. So this is where, after 7 days, this is now where we're going to conduct this search before outputting the stuff to the user. So what we're going to do is to actually make a search. We can just say, meanwhile, we don't need this. This is just going to save to the database. So here, this is what we call skill. This is not skill. We mistakenly named skill to be users. How could I be so stupid? Alright, so I'm going to just, it's supposed to be search, not skill. What did I do? So search, every time there's a skill we convert it to search. Then every time there is a skill small letter, skill small letter, we convert it to search small letter. Every time there's skills, we convert it to searches. We're doing this because the dynamics of the plural and singular for this is different. For plural of search, it has to have ES, so we have to treat the plural first, and then we do this. Then we go for the singular. So for the singular, every time there's search, we now do this. Okay, so we now scroll up and make sure that we have a search here. Okay, cool. Then other things we need to import are skill. You will see why we need to import skill, because users can search for skills too. They can search users, they can search skill too. Okay, so we can import all that nice stuff like state, so that we can search states too, and we can import country. Okay, do we have country? Yes. And do we have states? Cool. Alright, we're back to our ad. So in this ad, this is where we conduct the search. So we're gonna do a simple search. So instead of search, we're just gonna say user. Search users where the first name is the same as the search term. So the search term we have here is obviously we're just gonna say search term. Okay, that's the search term we're getting from the form, and we're just gonna search this with it. So there we are. This is a basic search that is searching all the users table, the first name column, for everywhere this search term matches. So we are assuming the first assumption is that what they're searching for is a person's name. Okay, and then we're supposed to add something else and say, or where, the same thing, but then this time it's the last name. So we're just going to check whether the last name. So if you come there and search for partner, you will see me. If you search for Dave, you will see me. That's what this is saying. So we're gonna break it down a little further, but then we have to move into the next video to do that. So thank you very much. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel at this point, this is the moment to subscribe. So go to my YouTube channel and click on the subscribe button. This is the URL to the YouTube channel, .com/c/brainterm.org, and then hit on the subscribe button so that as I update these videos, you will continue to get them. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.